Villa Savoye by Le Corbusier, 1929 to 1931.
Villa Savoye, designed by Le Corbusier between 1928 and 1931, represents a major turning point in architectural history. It reflects the rise of modernism, where architects rejected traditional ornament and instead focused on function, efficiency, and new technologies. The building was made possible by reinforced concrete, which allowed for new structural freedom. Le Corbusier described the house as a machine for living in, emphasizing practicality over decoration. This project also demonstrates his 5 points of architecture, including pilotis, a free plan, a free facade, ribbon windows, and a roof garden. These ideas became fundamental to modern architecture. Globally, Villa Savoye helped define the international style and influence residential design throughout the 20th century, making it one of the most important buildings in architectural history.
Villa Savoye, designed by Le Corbusier, is made up of simple geometric shapes that work together to create interesting spaces. The main part of the house is a clean rectangular box that looks like it's floating above the ground. This effect comes from the use of pilotis, which are thin columns that lift the building up and leave the ground level open and free-flowing. The columns contrast with the box because they are cylindrical, adding a different shape to the design. Inside, there's a ramp that cuts through the structure and connects the floors. Instead of using only stairs, the ramp creates a smooth, continuous movement through the house, making a space feel more open and connected. On the roof, Villa Savoye, designed by Le Corbusier, has a facade that's all about clean proportions and balance. The front is basically a long horizontal rectangle, and its width is much greater than its height. This makes the building feel stretched out and calm. One of the biggest proportional features is the ribbon windows. They run almost the entire length of the facade, creating strong horizontal lines that divide the elevation into clear layers. These windows are relatively thin compared to the solid walls and sections. The pilotis at the bottom also play a role in proportion. They are very thin and evenly spaced, supporting the heavier-looking box above. This contrast makes the upper volume feel lighter, almost like it's floating. The spacing between the columns is consistent, which adds a sense of rhythm and order. There's also balance between solid and void. The white walls take up more space than the windows, but the windows are placed in a way that keeps the facade from feeling heavy. Everything feels even and distributed without one part overpowering the others. Overall, the proportions in the facade create a sense of harmony and control. The strong horizontals, consistent spacing, and balance of solid and empty space all work together to make the design feel simple but
Rhythm in Villa Savoye is created through repetition, structural order, and horizontal continuity. On the facade, the ribbon windows and evenly spaced pilates establish a strong visual rhythm that reflects the principles of modernist architecture. The long horizontal slab edges emphasize balance and continuity across the building. In the exonometric organization, the rhythm is reinforced through modular planning and circulation movement. The repeated structural grid organizes the interior space, while the ramp creates continuous flows throughout the house. Unlike more expressive architectural styles, Villa Savoye focus on clarity, order, and functional movement through space. The construction system of Villa Savoye reflects the Corbusier's 5 points of architecture, which became foundational ideas in modernist design. The building uses reinforced concrete pilates to elevate the structure above the ground and create an open lower level. Because of the structural load is carried by columns instead of walls, the facade becomes free and flexible, allowing for ribbon windows and open space organization. The house also includes a roof garden and open floor plan, which further demonstrates the Corbusier's vision of functional and modern. These structural principles influenced residential architecture throughout the 20th century and helped define the international style.
The Villa Savoye is organized through clear functional zoning. The ground floor is primarily dedicated to service spaces, including the garage and circulation areas, while the upper floor contains the main living and private spaces. The design follows a free plan, meaning interior walls are not structurally fixed and can be arranged flexibly. Circulation is a key feature, especially the central ramp, which guides movement through the building and creates a continuous spatial experience known as the architectural promenade. On the facade, zoning is expressed through horizontal ribbon windows and a consistent structural rhythm, reinforcing the building's modernist emphasis on clarity and order.